So, you just picked up a beautiful acoustic guitar, great for you, or maybe you had the same one for 10 years and now it sounds like a rusty lunchbox? Yeah, it's about time to change strings, but which ones? Elixir, Diadaros, Ernie Ball, Martin, you probably heard of them all, but have you heard of Cleartone? If not, it's about time. Welcome to another episode of Gordon Gear. Strings, strings, strings. If you've been playing guitar for a while, maybe even decades like me, you've probably gone through a lot of strings. Hundreds of different sets are out there. So what makes a string good? And how do you know what suits you? That's some questions I'm gonna break down for you. No boring science here, I promise. And yes, I'll be shining a spotlight on Cleartone Strings in this video. I use them on pretty much all of my guitars now, and I can honestly say they're a brand worth checking out. Let's take a quick look at Cleartone's website. Right on the front page, you will find their mission, and that is to make long-lasting, great-sounding strings so you can play more and change less. They even show a visual comparison of how their strings hold up over time. Spoiler alert, Cleartone wins. They're clearly aiming for high quality and durability. If you click Shop Strings, you will see they offer a pretty wide range, but since I mostly play acoustic, let's focus on that. They've got strings for all kinds of styles, and I haven't personally tried the Everly pack, but the rest, oh yeah, I know those well. And since you're already browsing, why not toss in a 12-pack of star picks? They've got this star-shaped cutout for maximum grip and control. Basically, they're gonna stick to your fingers like a loyal dog. But hey, let's go back to strings, because that is what Cleartone is really all about. First thing, material. Acoustic strings usually have a steel core that is wrapped in another metal, and that outer wrap, that is where the tone magic happens. We got different styles for this. So first off, we got this 80/20 bronze. It's 80% copper, 20% zinc, gives you a bright, crisp, and sparkle tone, but they usually lose their shine pretty fast. Cleartone, they combat this with their EMP coating, okay? It's keeping the tone alive way longer. Next off, we got this Phosphor Bronze. It's a bit of phosphorus that adds warmth to it, richness, and more resonance. Great for fingerstyle, or I would say singer-songwriter vibes. And finally, we got this EQ hybrid metal. Very cool, guys. And as the name says here, it's a hybrid. It's a mix of 80/20 and Phosphor Bronze. These strings are actually tuned by material. And it says here on the back side of this pack, the low E is pure copper for deep richness, and then we got the A and D string. They are Phosphor Bronze for mid-range punch, and the G string, it's 80/20 for sparkle. So it's like EQ built right into these strings. Genius. A second aspect is the feel. How do they play? Strings are really like shoes. They have to fit your hands, but also your style. We have lighter strings. They are easy to press and bend, great for beginners, fingerstyle, or anyone who just values comfort over volume. Then we have the heavier strings, gives you more volume, more tone. They are harder on your fingers, ideal for big strumming and bold dynamics. Cleartone, they offer sets from ultra light all the way to medium. Personally, I stick to this light 1253s. That is just what feels right for me, my own personal preference. And if your fingers start to begging for mercy after 10 minutes, yep, then just try to switch to lighter strings. Next thing to consider is the durability. How long do they last? Fresh strings sound like spring, old strings sound like November, so how long do you want spring to last on your guitar? That's the question. And we got two different answers here. We have coated strings and uncoated strings. The coated strings means that they have a thin protective layer to block out sweat, grime, and oxygen. They last a lot longer, but some players say that they feel a little bit too smooth. Then we have the other side of it, the uncoated strings. It's basically just raw metal, usually brighter at first, but they wear out fast, especially if you are a sweaty shredder. Cleartone, they claim that their strings last 3 to 5 times longer than normal strings. And honestly, yes, they do hold up impressively well. Secret sauce here, again, their EMP coating, Enhanced Molecular Protection. Sounds very fancy there, but it's basically an ultra thin shield that protects without dulling the feel or tone. So you don't feel it, but your strings do. And finally, we have the tone. How do they sound on your specific guitar? Because yes, every guitar has its own personality. Some are bright and sparkly, others sound like they smoke cigars and tell scary stories. The right strings will bring out the best from your guitar. If you play a bright guitar like Taylor's, or maybe like this one, it's a smaller size Polar guitar from Anchor Guitars, then try warmer strings like the Phosphor Bronze. If you play on a darker, maybe old guitar like a vintage Dreadnought, then go for brighter 80-20 sets. And your playing style matters too. Fingerpicking, strumming, flat picking, they all interact differently with your strings. You can also try to record yourself every time you switch strings, and then you know if it sounds great or not with your specific guitar. So, I grabbed my Red Falcon here from Anchor Guitars, and by the way, check out my tutorial on this very great good guitar from Anchor. I have it on Gordon Gear, and you can also use my coupon code to get even 10% off from a price that is great as it is retail. So yeah, take the chance to make a good deal. Now let's go back to the strings, and I had them on here for a couple months, my 80-20s. So let's go for a quick sound check. Like I said, guys, I had the strings on there for a couple of months, but I still get this fresh new feeling. We'll see how it lasts, time will tell, but that's a good sign, I can tell that. Cleartone also make nylon strings, and nylons are close to my heart. I actually spent my first 10 years playing classical guitar only, so nylons, they were my first love. This is the set from Cleartone. It's called Sevilla, and you can get them in both medium or high tension. And you can also choose the ball ends or tie ends depending on your setup. I'm gonna put this down here. It's a great set, and show you one very simple guitar. It's my Yamaha, and I just found out this one needs some love. We're gonna change the strings, and you're gonna listen to one before and after playing. Let's do it. So we have some new nylons on here, and they are very fresh. It still gets a little bit out of tune sometimes, and I can see here my lazy ass hasn't cut the strings yet. Well, let's go into the sound check and listen. So. Beautiful tone, guys. Huge upgrade, and with strings has coating on, Many usually complain when it comes to the feel of the strings. It gets a little bit slippery and a little bit unnatural, but what strikes me with these strings here from Cleartone is that they feel absolutely 100% natural, and the proof is in the sound when I slide on the strings. Listen to this. Yeah, you can hear that wiring when I slide on the strings, and that's a good proof of we still have some meat there on the strings, even if it's protected and stays in shape pretty much through time here. So that's a good sign. So my final thought, guys. Choosing strings, it's kind of like choosing coffee. Some like it bold and dark, others want it smooth and mellow. It all comes down to taste, feel, and a little bit of trial and error. But once you find your favorite, your guitar will thank you. And I definitely found mine. What I like about Cleartone is that as a smaller brand, they seem to put real care and craftsmanship into every set. It feels like a product made by people who actually play guitar. Sure, you can find cheaper strings, but if you're changing them all the time, are they really cheaper in the long run? Speaking of cheap or not, let's go through a fast price breakdown. We got this 80/20 bronze, they go for $15. Next up we have the Phosphor Bronze, they run for $18. Then we have this cool set of the EQ hybrids, $14. And finally you have to spend $22 on this Sevilla Nylon set. Very reasonable price for quality strings. So that's it, folks. Grab your next set of strings from Cleartone and spend less time changing, more time playing. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode of Gordon Gear.